You're listening to The Art Show on 106.6 FM at Wycombe Sound. I'm your host, Dane Cobain, and it's about time for me to join this week's guest. So this week we had a little chat to Tom Bradley Jr. Over to Tom.
What does the songwriting process look to you? How do you go about writing a song? Do you start with the chords or the lyrics?
I don't know if you write as well your own songs, but it's a challenge in itself, and therefore I usually start with a guitar, and I used to start with a guitar at the start because I didn't really have any idea of hearing chords in my head, so I couldn't hear a D chord in my head or playing on the guitar. So the ones that are recently coming out, where they're getting more complex and faster chords and stuff, it's because I can hear the A minor in my head. And I can
got you, yeah.
You are the, and I'm like, okay, that's an A minor to a G, and then that flips to a E minor and then F. I can hear it in my head better, so I can make it a bit more complicated, and add the falsettos. So it all depends. I mean, and also with stories as well. Like I love the idea that you get a concept, like you did with on the last week's show. You got the concept of you had the story and you had a story play, didn't you, with Cooper in as well? You had a concept and then you make something out of the concept. I sort of did that with I definitely did that with the song, I think it was Falling. So I was sort of picturing that I wasn't feeling too down, but I was thinking what's a way to get out of here. And then the other one would Notice Me is definitely a concept, because it's looking at, I haven't been in the situation per se, but I felt it before, like when you're like the other half leaves after a big breakup and you walk back into an empty house. Very depressing, because I try to be a bubbly character and I write really depressing songs. So, so I tried to mix it up, but that sort of concept intrigued me, because I was like, well, you can, from there, the songwriting might improve, because then you can pick out different things of what might be in the room, the darkness of the house, how it might feel a bit weakened because there's not sort of spirit in it. When you go to sit down for dinner at the table and you haven't got that other person there to talk to about how your day's been, you walk through the door and no one's there to pick up the post. So, you've got to pick up all the post after a long day and can't go, honey, I'm home, because, no one's there. Unless you've got a dog.
Yeah, or a cat, dogs. Yeah.
Dog, yeah. Dog or a cat, yeah. 100%. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And one of the things I find quite interesting, and we touched on it earlier, is that you use TikTok. So how have you found TikTok as a way of sort of getting your music out?
Oh, I'm an old man when it comes to TikTok. I'm doing my best with it. It's more of a duets, getting involved in duets. I got cool. Duet. That's something I'm trying to push myself to get more involved in duets, because then you're collaborating with people, and it's the easiest collab in the world, which you're just picking up your phone and then you're just putting it on the side and just doing it in one take.
Yeah, so exactly. Yeah,
I love how convenient that is as a musician, because it can be extremely inconvenient writing music or recording music. And then what else? Sort of varying it up. Instead of just singing all the time, might do a guitar cover, because where someone can hear the melodies more. Or maybe do little announcements saying there's a song coming. Use it for little previews. But yeah, I think I won't get the most out of TikTok until I actually release something, because then you can add your music onto TikTok, and then you can make more like silly videos on there. I think the silly videos definitely seem to go far. The highest view one I got was I was drunk. I was in my room. It was midnight, and I just got back from a few mates down at the beach. We were all together drinking a few beers, and I started recording for some reason, and I was recording myself playing Colorblind on YouTube, and I was like, that's me, and I was like, it's so silly, but it was be proud of who you are, and it sort of fits with what I want and my initiative that like started with my music, and it got like a K plays. So I was like, it came out of nowhere. I was like, hang on, why is it going up? Like, it's the silliest thing I've uploaded. So yeah, it's varying the content, I think, is the big conclude. Vary that content. Don't put out the same thing all the time. Mix it up with the music genres as well. Don't always yours, because you might learn something from learning a new chord or learning a new note or learning a new progression. So yeah.
Cool. And you mentioned Paul Cooper as well from the Open Mic Select group. And I wanted to chat to you about that briefly. How important has that group been for you and the support from that group?
If it wasn't for that group, I wouldn't have an album written. I wouldn't have a YouTube channel going. And even though they're not directly involved with the YouTube channel or the album writing or anything like that, the amount of positive encouragement, it's like posting into a void when you're a musician, especially on social media like Facebook, where they're not as lively, and you're like, but then when you go onto a Facebook group like Open Mic Select, everyone listens to each other, and I've enjoyed listening to everyone else. They've been amazing. There's some amazing talents, and there's it just the positivity, and you can even ask for advice, and they'll give you some advice. And it's not patronizing. It's not. There's no egos in that group. It's I've been on live streams with them all a few times, and they've been so accepting. I'm the youngest one. You got my mom. I'm like a 24-year-old man, and then most of them have got kids, and they've got families, and they're in they're on the next stage of their life. I'm the stage behind, but they're just so accepting. And there are people on there who don't post as much or are my age, but yeah, I've just thought the key thing he said to me is that you only get in what you put in, like you only get out what you, like, put into it. So I just went, all right, I'll see that challenge, and I'll do it, and I'll see what it's like. And it's been amazing. Paul Cooper is a massive inspiration to me. He's
a great guy.
I tell him how great he is, and his ego doesn't change, which is amazing in itself, because most people would be like, oh yeah, I'm pretty amazing, aren't I? If they were told about 10 times a month how great they are. So, he's been like a mascot for me. He's a massive
cool. And you mentioned live streams. Have you been doing any live streams during lockdowns and whatnot?
Well, I thought the problem is with I couldn't do any live shows because I did 2 live shows in Thailand when I was out there, but they were my first ever ones, and I was super nervous and I messed up a load of chords, but I got through and it was great. And I've never had a live show properly in England, so I was like, well, I need to get over this fear. I need to do something. So I thought in April, I think when the lockdown came, everyone's on their phones. No better time to start live streaming, trying to do a live. So I went for it, and it was so nerve-wracking at the start. But after a while, it's like everything. You just practice makes perfect. You roll with it, and you get better at it, and you get better at talking to a screen. Because I'm quite a chatty person, and I want to talk and feed off people. But when they're only feeding off a screen, it's even harder because you've got no one. You've got no vibe to feed off. It's like it's weird because it's like even though there are people messaging at the bottom, I can't see who them people are unless they talk. So I just have to rely that I'm whether they're enjoying it or not, I'm just providing a good service for them. Because as much as I love doing it as well, it's also entertainment for them.
You're listening to The Art Show on 106.6 FM at Wycombe Sound. My name's Dane Cobain. I'm here in conversation with Tom Bradley Jr. And this is one of his songs. This is Don't Care Anymore.
Take me far away from here. You have no reason to fear. Oh, I hope you come along and see you're right from blown away with the wind. Oh, da 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 da. So take in every word of this song. My love is still strong, and when you're gone, oh, remember all those times and 13 reasons why our love will go on forevermore. But you still don't care anymore. Oh, our love will go on forevermore. But you still don't care
That was Don't Care Anymore by Tom Bradley Jr. You're listening to The Art Show on 106.6 FM Wycombe Sound. I'm your host, Dane Cobain, and I am joined by the man of the hour himself, Tom Bradley Jr.
True. Well, it's interesting because I personally would say that doing live streams, it is actually harder than performing at an open mic or something like that. Purely for those reasons you said, you can't look out and see what the audience is doing. Like, I mean, even if they're visibly not enjoying your set, it's just a reassurance to know that there is somebody there, you know. So I find it personally a lot harder doing it online. So that should hopefully set you up in good stead, I would think.
Yeah, well, we hope, don't we? I mean, there'll definitely be a few chord models in my first live show, but I think as well it's so much easier because it's more about entertaining, and they're not looking at you so crucially on the specific technical side of performing. Yeah. Whereas with an Instagram live show, they're all looking at your hands. They're all, I feel like it's more technical because you can't charm your way out of a situation. So I totally agree, mate. I totally agree. Yeah.
Cool. So I want to know just quickly as well. So you mentioned you played in Thailand. What were you doing there? Were you traveling? Was it a holiday?
Oh no, that was a work placement.
Cool.
I was a work placement. But obviously I brought a cheapy little guitar out there, and they were saying that I wasn't very good at guitar then. I was sort of planning for learn my first few covers. And they asked me, they heard my voice, and I didn't think it was very good, but they thought it was all right. So they invited me to play at their town hall meeting. It's like a monthly staff meeting. I was thinking, it's all right, it'd be like 10 people. It's like 100 people there, Dane. I was like, wow. I was like, what? Because what happened is that we went to set up and do the mic check, and I walked in. There's a massive town hall with all 50 seats alongside each side, and I'm just thinking, oh my god. But the greatest part is that because they're Thai, some of them don't understand what I'm even saying, so I could get away with a chord.
You can get the lyrics wrong. Yeah.
But
that's definitely a memorable first gig.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's definitely it's quite, but just getting through it was the main thing, and just trying to entertain really. And we did. We got through eventually. I had a band as well, which was great as well.
Yeah, cool.
People there as well. So, yeah,
cool. So just a couple questions just to end on. So obviously you haven't really had much of a chance to play live because of the pandemic. So what are some of the venues in the UK that you really want to play?
Are we talking about if I actually lift off, or are we talking about just in general?
Do your start the career local venues and then headline spot kind of ones?
Well, obviously, I want to be in Cameo. Now I'm joking. Not Cameo, not nightclub. But no, I don't think my music is quite for the nightclub scene. God, that's a
Yeah.
really great question. I haven't really thought about it. I think I definitely want to do like the places like the Apollo, O2. They'd be the big ones. I'd be amazed at. The little ones, just little pubs, really. Like there's nothing more charming than a British pub, in my view.
It's
I'm
true,
going
yeah.
to play in them, and obviously it's my music is quite. I'd say it's more smoother and softer than loud and hard. So I think it'd suit that. Yeah, I'm just trying to think in Bournemouth because I'm living in Bournemouth at the moment, and there's some lovely venues. I'm just thinking of like the BIC, the Bournemouth International Centre, but that's more of a arena. Yeah, it's more pubs and little clubs. Yeah. I don't have really a preference because I haven't actually gone and gigged. But I think I'll be, once I get the first acoustic album out, that because it'll be a track of guitar, one track guitar, one track of singing. It's like a really good demo. So I can then go and apply to these places, and I can go more detail. But yeah, at the moment, it's more taking one step at a time, not trying to rush it. Well, I try to, but I'm not sure if I do it really well. But like Michael Jordan's a massive inspiration to me, sporting figure in basketball, and he's just he says live in the present, and living in the present is such a just take each day as it goes, enjoy it, try to enjoy it. Obviously have goals for the future, but don't get lost in it, and enjoy, because like I've met people like Paul would be like enjoy it now because it flies by. And before you know it, you've hit the next stage of your life where you look at family and you're really hitting your stride maybe in your career, or it's like so you just have to enjoy every moment. Yeah, I'd say.
It's kind of funny because my last question for you is what's next for you? So I guess what have you got planned next? What would a successful 2021 look like for you?
Getting these albums out. I'm working very hard to make sure I've got the money to actually release them. Getting these albums out. There won't be much promotion on the first one because it's just a debut acoustic demos one that I just decided to do. But the second one, the studio one, that would be the one where I want to apply to loads of playlists and stuff like that. If I somehow got 10k streams overall, not on like a single track, overall on Spotify by the end of 2021, I'd be over the moon. But for me, it's I feel like everyone's in a rush to try and get famous. Everyone's in a rush to try and build their following. And I'm at the point where I don't know whether it's because I started later and I started as an adult and not as a kid. And I just think you just got to take your time, take it year as it comes, and eventually it will come to you. Because I don't know. I say I want to dilly dally between blues soul and this like rock pop sound, but I think it takes years to try and figure out your sound. And it's
probably constantly changing as well.
Yeah, exactly. And you're obviously got to figure out your target audience as well. What does that sound fit? So for me, it's just taking time, releasing music, and just enjoying it, enjoying the journey. I'd say is the key.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And where can people follow you online to find out more?
I'd say go on Instagram. So Instagram is Tom Bradley Jr. 24. That's probably the most active. I put all my stuff on there. If you're on Facebook, if you prefer Facebook, go on to Facebook, which is Tom Bradley Jr. And then obviously the YouTube. If you were looking for something more to binge in music, then go to So I try to offer a bit of everything. But I'd say Instagram is the go-to.
That was Tom Bradley Jr. You're listening to The Art Show on 106.6 FM at Wycombe Sound. I'm your host, Dane Cobain, and this is another Tom Bradley Jr. track.
post up at the door and cleaned up the floor, 'cause we don't talk anymore now. Broken memories left to waste, and I need a little space, 'cause we don't talk anymore now. But I hope she's doing fine without me, and I hope she changed her mind, notice me, yeah. And I hope she's doing fine without me, and I hope she changed her mind and notice me. Empty places at the table now, and I'm out of place somehow, 'cause we don't talk anymore now. Broken memories are left to waste, and I need my best mate, 'cause we don't talk anymore now. But I hope she's doing fine without me, and I hope she changed her mind, notice me, yeah. And I hope she's doing fine without me, and I hope she changed her mind and notice me. But I hope